Hello everybody, right, let me just make sure something. Hello, 1, 2, 3, right, okay, that looks like it's working. Okay, if this isn't working, I don't think I've got the energy to make that again, to be honest with you. I can't believe that was like a 25-minute video I just made and it just had no sound on. Unbelievable. I've got kids around for the holidays, you see, and they're all messing around on this freaking computer playing games that they're probably not supposed to be playing. I'm not working anymore for the rest of the week, so no one's going near this thing. Alright, Scrooge is in the house. Right, so let's have a look at some of these coins then. See if I can remember what it was I just said. But the poll, basically, we were looking at what, if anything, is worth investing in over this Christmas period. And to be honest with you, the only thing that I would put my money on, and I'm not very keen on the idea of it, would be Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, if you watch and basically just before I go into all of this, I still think the direction is down for Bitcoin, even though we've broken out of this descending trend, which is definitely a big green tick for the bulls. That's definitely a very bullish sign, but it doesn't look like it's going to get continuation to me, and I'll go into the reasons why. So basically, we've had this descending trend all the way down here. We've been rejected from it all the time. We broke above it on this one occasion. We were supported on it, which wasn't a good thing, because it was supporting on a downwards trend, and then we broke down beneath it. So what happened recently is that we were testing it, and we broke above it, finally broke above it in more of a constructive manner. And we had a nice launch. That was about an 8% move that we've had since being broken out of it. But we've been rejected from the green 50 and also from this big itchy cloud, which is also going to be descending, which doesn't look good. And that's a fat cloud there. From top to bottom, roughly speaking, even at where we are right now, that's almost a 10% resistance cloud that we're going to have to make our way through to go bullish. That entire area is resistance, and all of this area is resistance, and it's moving down. So it doesn't look like it wants to have continuation anywhere above the $8,000 region, which would basically be just above this level here, which is the 200 exponential moving average. It will likely be rejected from there. But if we do break above there and we get above here, then yeah, I'm basically going to go bullish on this one. It'll be full steam ahead, to be honest, at that point, and I think we're likely to have continuation and basically start to pick up again. The market will also pick up with it, but we're not there yet. What we've had here is a decent bounce from a recent low, which is what the entire market has felt. Ethereum and maybe not these guys, but well, certainly one, but we'll go on to those in a minute. So basically, overall, I'm still bearish on this. The bearishness comes from this resistance cloud. It comes from this descending trend, which we're likely to be supported on. If we come down to it, we'll see a move similar to this, because this is no more, to me, this is no more than a bounce. Okay, this is a bounce, and this also was a bounce. This was a significant pullback, because it's the first time that we broke down beneath the 242. The first time in a bear market as well, in a bull market, sorry, that has ever happened. So that, to be honest, was the first time it's ever happened. Is likely to have had a bounce, and we certainly had big bounces from there, but it wasn't enough. The trend is still stronger than the bounce, and this is what I still think is happening here. I think the bounce has happened and the trend is going to be stronger than the bounce, and we're going to find our way down here over the next week or so, next maybe couple of weeks, definitely into next year. I do believe this low will be broken and we will find our way into this level here, and that's anywhere between 4,900 and 6,600. This is where the true reversal is likely to take place, within this region. I don't think it's happening right now. Anyway, the most bullish chart that we can see at the moment is that of Bitcoin, but we all like to watch this channel for other reasons, and it's for Matic mainly. So let's have a look at Matic then, shall we? Because there's a lot of people focusing on Matic, thinking that something's likely to happen, and all I'm going to tell you is I think what we're looking at here is just another bounce, similar to that of Bitcoin, similar to that of Ethereum, similar to that of every single coin that you could find me at the moment is going to have a move, a little bump in the road, very much like what we're seeing with Matic. The difference is that Matic, when it bounces big. It bounces very big. So from top to bottom to top, we've got an 80%, more or less an 80% move. That is one hell of a bounce. If anyone wants to catch that, well played to you. For me personally, I can't trade these bounces. I like to trade on statistical risk rewards. I don't like trading bounces in what would appear to be a bear market. It's not for me, to be honest with you. It's not for me. It's definitely a valid way of trading, but it's not for me at all. Too much risk involved, which is why I didn't get involved in this one. I spotted that I still believe that the overall trend is down, so I'm not willing to sort of trade on these bounces. It's not really for me, and I'll tell you why. Because one of my rules that I've always set for myself is that I'd much rather miss out an opportunity than to lose out with money. That is one of my rules. I like to only trade when something is as close to certain as possible. And this bounce, to me, when it happened, the first time we tested that level, we didn't automatically bounce from it. We broke down beneath it and then we got our bounce. Because I strongly believe that we will be down in this area, I'm not prepared to be buying anything really. I'm more interested in shorting from these areas now, because I think that we're going to be between this level and this level, we're going to be coming down back into this level. Anyway, moving on to Matic again, I do believe that we're going to be breaking down beneath this new low. So the reason we bounced from here is the reason all coins bounced is because they basically came down to a pretty much a point where they've been at in the past. And for this one, we bounced exactly where this wick was here. Look, it's exactly where the wick was. So it's an obvious place to be buying. It's your first opportunity to buy back. That is a very easy trade to make if you're looking to take that risk. So exactly on that wick, we bounced exactly on that wick, and we bounced up nice and high. If we were to look into bounce again when we come back down to this level, we could find another bounce from here. I don't expect it'll be anywhere near 2 cents. I think we're probably going to be bouncing here and probably be rejected from this level here, 1.7 or so, or maybe even at this level here where the 200 exponential is. And then if we break down again beneath there, I think we'll be revisiting our next low, which is around 1 cent, and that's where we'll probably find a bigger bounce, because that's a lower low, but it's a significant low. It's a low that was tested twice in the past, and we actually found decent bounces both times. Over 100% if I remember rightly. Let's just measure this wick out here, from here. Yeah, that's about 116%, and I think this one was yeah, that's basically 100 as well. So we'll be playing in these ranges, and these are big bounces. But remember that Matic wasn't margin tradable in these levels here. It is now. So there's a lot of people who've got a lot more incentive to trade these bounces, or should I say these rejections now, than there are to the bounces. So the rejections will be deadly. We won't see little tapering off like this. We'll see big red lines coming down on this. And we'll see gradual moves up and big red lines down, gradual moves up and big reds down. That's what we're going to see with Matic now. That's the nature of it. It's always been a volatile coin. It will remain volatile. That's its nature, I think. There's a lot of people trading it. It's still small cap. It's going to be volatile. We're going to have big moves up, big moves down. The bounces will be emphasized by the fact that it's margin tradable and available for shorting. So that's what we're going to see. So let's move on to one, because there's a lot of interest in one I've noticed on my Telegram group, and you know, I'm not really seeing it myself, to be honest. And again, you know, I'm not one of those people that trades on the back of fundamentals. I trade simply on chart analysis, and that's all I trade on. If you want to invest your money, that's fine, and that's a perfectly appropriate way to make money. But trading this chart the way it looks right now doesn't look like a great idea to me. We look at this versus Matic, alright? Matic started down here. This is where it was launched, and we had a parabolic move. And even when we came down to make a new low, our lowest point after the parabolic top, it was basically just below this level here, where it came out. So, showing relative strength in comparison to this, what happened here is we had the usual pump and dump, and then we just basically continued to make new lows. Now, a lot of people are thinking of buying back here because this is a bounce opportunity. This bounce is no different to this bounce, which is no different to this bounce, and we look at Ethereum, it's no different to this bounce. You find me any altcoin, you will see a bounce similar to that of what's happening with one. It doesn't mean that the bottom is in. That's not what it means. It means it's made a brand new low, and for something like one, it's actually made a low, the lowest low it's ever had. So, you know, I could be wrong, because one day there will be a low that's formed, but the fact that you're trading, or people are looking to trade a coin which is just recently, you know, only a week ago made it a new low, isn't a great idea in many ways, in pretty much every way. You want to wait to see if a low has been confirmed, and that doesn't just, you know, you don't just trade off the back of something making a low. This is all coins are finding bounces at these levels, all coins. Technically we're trading lower at this point now than we have done for almost the entire of its last, when was this, September? We're being rejected on this guy here, which I believe is the, let me just double check, is that the, That's the 34 EMA, and it's a strong rejection from that. So that's a relatively decent place to be above, and we're not. We're being rejected from it. So what do I think is going to happen with one? I think we're going to make a lower low. I think we're going to be lower than this. There's no reason why we won't, because we've only just put in a lowest low. The Bollinger Band stretches all the way down to this level, which is 0.00357. The chances are we'll be revisiting this low and coming down to at least the bottom of the Bollinger Band, if not lower. We've only recently got the 200 exponential and the 200 simple moving average just appear this last week. And look at the space between that and the 50. It's, what would that be, about 100% maybe? Let's have a look from the price action we're at right now. That's 100% exactly. So in order for us to get up and above this, which is what all coins need to do in order to remain bullish, you need to be above the 200 exponential, which also needs to be facing upwards to confirm some form of bull trend. We have not got that. We've got quite the opposite. We're 100% beneath it. It's downwards facing. All moving averages of any significance are downwards facing. We've got a cross here on the daily chart of a Ichimoku cloud. So when you have a conversion line cross the baseline, like we have had here, that would suggest continuation of the move down from that price action. The price action at its very highest is the level that we're at right now. At its lowest, it'll be down here at 4.2, 0.004.2. So I would expect we're going to get continuation of the move down on this one, just because all the indicators, including this cross which has taken place on the daily chart for the Ichimoku cloud, would suggest continuation of the move down. It's bearish. It's just bearish to me. The market looks bearish. I still think we're going to come down into this level here. When you compare these two together, it looks like one has had FOMO involved in it, off the back of Matic's most recent achievements. I don't see anything on this chart which looks bullish, which should have led to this. There's nothing. There's no reason why this move would have happened. There's nothing on this chart to say that this move would have happened. We were putting in lows at this level here, where pretty much where we are right now. We danced around there a few times. We made moves. We came back down to retest it. Yeah, we made moves. We came back down to test it, and we made some moves. But we've broken beneath it now, and we've been rejected from the level that we are now. All indicators are bearish on that. Let's move on to Ethereum, just for a bit of an overview of the crypto market in general. Ethereum is a large cap coin. It's pretty much the leading altcoin out there. And what do we see here? We see an extremely bearish chart, a very, very, very bearish chart. Nothing on this chart here looks bullish at all. In fact, we've just got a cross on the simples here. The 242 has just crossed above the 200, which is bearish. Everything about all of these charts are bearish. The crypto market is still bearish despite what's happened with Bitcoin and despite what's happened with Matic. Nothing about one is bullish. Ethereum is very bearish still. I think we've got a long way to go. I think alts are going to take the biggest hit. I think Bitcoin is going to come down into this area and trend within this area before it reverses. So I still think we've got a long way to go. We measure the area that we're at right now down to where I would consider the bottom to be in. And that doesn't mean we're going to hit that and be the bottom, but 5,000 or 4,900 is what I would think would be its absolute lowest. That's 32% down for Bitcoin. If Bitcoin comes down 32%, what do you think is going to happen to altcoins? I think we're going to see a complete destruction of them, basically, and I think we're going to see things like Ethereum make new lows for the year. It would be lower than $80. There's no reason why that wouldn't happen, because that seems to be happening across the board for most altcoins in general. If Ethereum comes down below $80, what do you think it's going to do to IEO coins? Do you think this is going to make a new low? Or do you think it's going to bounce from this level that we're at right now? I think it's more than likely going to make a new low, and it'll be a significant one at that. I think this one, this first level that I was speaking of at the bottom of the Bollinger Band on the daily, which is really nothing to go by, because there's nothing underneath here to say that there's a statistical or realistic or tangible support line. There isn't, because we've not been there before. This is the only thing we've got to go by right now, and you know Bollinger Bands get broken 5% of the time. I think we're going to be coming down much lower than this. This doesn't look like a coin you want to be buying, neither does any coin, not even Bitcoin. But if there was one coin in the entire world that someone asked me to trade, what would I trade right now? I'd probably trade Bitcoin, and that would be a bad trade. Given the fact of everything I said at the beginning of the video, we were beneath every single moving average of any significance, being rejected from Itchy Clouds, being underneath a green 50, which has recently had a death cross just less than a month ago. The death cross took place when the price action was a little lower than where we are now. which meant that we're likely to have at least, I'd say at least between 10 to 35% retracement. So that could bring us down to, into the top end of the 4,000s. That could happen. There's no reason why it wouldn't happen. It could happen because these are long-term projections, and these long-term projections are more reliable than short-term projections. You can have a lot of volatility within a range. You could have $2,000-3,000 volatility. People thought we went bullish at this point, but the reality of it is that we weren't bullish at that point. The reality was that we were continuing with a downwards trend. A lot of people got excited there. That was $3,000 in like one day, within a 24-hour period. But to me, I wasn't convinced. I was saying it's going to continue to go down. A lot of people went bullish on that, and a lot of people lost out on that. A lot of people are going to be bullish now. I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to be losing out too. And again, with all of these coins, Ethereum, Matic, yeah, it looks bullish, but it's not. It's really not. Indicators across the board, whether that's Bitcoin, whether that's Matic, Ethereum, you name it, they're all bearish. So yeah, you can get excited when you make money off a bounce, but that's all that's happening right now. You're seeing bounces. You're seeing bounces in a bearish market. Don't get excited. Anyway, as I'm speaking, it looks like we're having a further dump. It does not surprise me in the slightest. Like I say, by the time this video is uploaded and you've watched it, this has probably played out a lot more. So our current price action has actually just gone down to 7,320, 7,350. I would expect that over the next few weeks we'll be back down beneath 6,000, and we'll be making new lows within a month. Anyway, I'm going to leave it with you there. Trade safe. Excuse me, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, by the way. But I hope you have a nice day and a nice evening and nice Christmas holidays. Take it easy. Thanks for watching.